Okay, I am in the elevator, so I figured while I'm out walking the dog, I will tell you guys what my characters did this week. So I did work on book 2. I feel like I'm getting really close to the beta stage, which also makes me think like, is it really ready for the betas, you know? But that's always something we always deal with as authors, you know, like we always have that second guess in our minds. But if I'm not ready to give it completely to my beta readers, I do know, I do have like an alpha reader or two that I can kind of give it to and be like, hey, you know, give me, you know, some insight on this, you know, let me know what's up with it. And she's usually really good about it. There's one in particular that I use every time as my alpha reader, and she goes through and she's like, yeah, this looks good and that looks good and everything else. And so we're getting really close to that point with book 2. I feel like I'm actually I think I'm ready to almost give her the book and say, as it stands now, how does it look? Now, of course, there are some scenes I have not written yet. They're in my head. It is a goal of mine to get it done, but I have not done it yet. That is my goal soon. However, I did do some tweaking on book 4, which is the one that's like, I guess it'd be the secret identity trope. Yeah, secret identity trope. I did do some work on that this week because I felt very inspired with it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to write it, write down the scenes that I'm thinking of, and we're just going to, you know, make it work. So that's what I did this week. So for book 4, it was more like going through and changing things that was already in place, like in the previous draft kind of it, in the way that I was going before, and I had to like go in there, tweak some things. I took out, initially I had the FMC as a single mother to her niece, and then I took that out because the direction she's going is not easy to have kids with. So I'm like, yeah, having a kid and her having that secret identity is not going to be easy. So we're just going to go ahead and cut out the, you know, the single parent thing. So I did that. I went and I tweaked. There is one scene in particular that I wrote it, but now I'm kind of feeling like it's too soon, because I can see readers being like, well, why would she defend him when she just met him and it wasn't that good of a meet? Like, he pretty much called her crap, you know? So I gotta kind of go back and work on that, because I don't want readers to be like, again, why would she defend him, claiming that, oh no, there's no way he could have done any of this or whatever, when she just met him. And again, it was a bad, well, it was more like an enemies to lover meetup, but given what it was, you know, I don't think many readers would buy it, if that makes sense. They'd be like, yeah, this does not make any sense. However, the scene would make sense further on in the book. So I'm going to move that scene to a different part of the book. Don't know where yet. And then I have to come up with a scene where he finds out who she is. And that scene I keep playing in my mind because it's very much an action scene. It's not where like he finds a letter or he sees a text message or something subtle. It's where she's in the wrong place and he wants to know why she's there. And then all of it just kind of comes out. I'm like, I'm not, you know, like, and then I have to kind of get into that emotional stage for him because he's realizing she's not who she says she is. So then he goes through like this whole emotional roller coaster of feeling deceived and everything else. So I have to be in a certain kind of mindset when I write that scene. You know, I have to be able to lean in on his feelings in that scene, but I also have to be able to write the action details. And right now, I don't have like enough like clarity of the details to write the scene. Do I know what's going to happen? Yes. I know exactly how it's going to happen. But again, baby steps. So right now in book 2, he's pretty much like not really, I mean, book 4, he's not really liking her too much right now. And so she's kind of dealing with her identity and stuff like that. So that's kind of where we're at right now with book 4, what my characters are doing. So yeah, but there needs to be, you know, I always struggle with the female characters. I don't know why. I just do. I've always struggled with their arcs, getting their arcs right and things like that. I've always struggled with that problem. So with hers, I need to make sure that it's legit, but I'm also trying to figure out, after he finds out the truth, how's that going to look for the two of them? And I already have a way of how he's going to kind of forgive her for it, but yeah, past that, I'm not really sure how it's going to work out. But I have time on that, so I'm, you know, yeah. But I really worked on book 4 this week. I was really hoping book 2 would have really hit a certain level, but that did not happen this week. But I still feel very, like, I'd say pretty good, I think, for the most part. But when I was working a little bit on it, I did feel that we're getting really close to that beta phase, and that also kicked in, making me look for different copy editors. Every book I have written has had a different copy editor. There's a lot of different reasons for that. A lot of it comes down to either the one that I hired before didn't jive well with me, or the price went up exponentially to the point I couldn't afford it. But ideally, I would love to find a copy editor that I can work with every single time, and I just have not found that person yet. Proofreader, I found one, but copy editor, I've not found one that yeah. So hopefully I'll find that person soon, because it's coming for book 2. I'm excited. I even started thinking about the covers, the models I want for the covers. So I started looking at deposit photo, trying to find the perfect model. We'll see how that goes. It's still up in the air. It's got a certain vibe to it, and I have yet to find a photo that fits that vibe. But yeah, so I'll let you guys know next week what happens. Yeah, have a good weekend.